Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you, and welcome back to another food taste test. Today, I'm going to be tasting food that I found at Daiso. Daiso is a Dollar Tree equivalent that you can find all over Japan and in the United States these days. It used to be a 100 yen shop, which when I lived there many years ago, 100 yen was about $1. So it's kind of like a dollar store. But as you know, inflation is real, and 100 yen shops and dollar stores are no longer just 100 yen or $1. They are more, but they are relatively inexpensive. You can find a whole panoply of things, lots of household items, and I just recently learned Daiso has food as well. So when I lived in Japan, there was a food area, but it was mostly snacks and sweets and candies, and I actually have a very old video. It's got to be 11 years old now, 10 years old now, on YouTube, giving you a small tour of a Daiso in Japan. So you can see that very poor video quality. It was a different time, but it'll give you an idea of what you can find in a Daiso 10 years ago. But now we have Daisos in the States. I do not have one near me, but when I went to visit my family in California, I stopped in one and picked up a bunch of foodstuffs, including things I had never seen before, including something like this. This is Daisho brand, which I believe is Daiso's kind of in-house brand for food. So I picked up a few of these items along with some other things that are not in-house brand that I thought I would taste test today. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and start with these. These are instant onigiri, and they were $4.25. And I dedicated an entire video about 4 years ago on these instant onigiri. I'd never seen them before, but they are delightful. If you don't know what an onigiri is a seasoned rice ball. Sometimes you've got a salted plum in the middle. Sometimes my favorite is the tuna fish and mayo, the tuna mayo combination inside of a rice ball. It's often triangular in shape and then wrapped in a little bit of nori seaweed. Fantastic staple. You can find them in every single konbini or convenience store in Japan, and they make the best snacks, breakfast, lunch. They're fantastic. But these ones are unique because they are instant in the fact that you just add water, either cold or hot water, into these packets, and not only will it cook the rice, but it will shape it into its traditional triangular shape. So you'll find a lot of examples of this emergency type food in Japan because it is an earthquake prone area. And so this requires no heat. Technically, you can make this onigiri with cold water, although it is much faster to cook it with hot water, which is what I'm going to use today. So I bought all the flavors that I could find. I'm going to make one of them today. If you want to know what the other flavors taste like, you can check out the extended video, and I'll put the link down below. While my water is coming up to the boil, let me describe how this works. So here's the package, and we peel this tab up, and this will reveal a little window, and you can see the rice and the seaweed inside. So this little red line is the fill line for our water. I'm going to tear the top to open it, and make sure you take out the air absorber. I made the mistake of leaving that the very first time I made this. I'm like, oh no, take that out. So here is the rice, and it looks very different than typical rice. It almost looks crystalline. So now we're going to pull the gusset open like this, spread it apart so that the onigiri will stand up on its own. So there's the fill line, and we're going to fill the water to the red line. We got it? Yeah, okay. So filled it to the red line. Now we're going to seal it up. And then shake it about 20 times to make sure that everything is mixed well. All the rice has some hot water. All right. Now we let this sit for 15 minutes. Now, if we did this with cold water, for example, if there's no electricity and you have no means of heating water, you can use cold water, but it has to sit for 1 hour, full 60 minutes, to hydrate the rice. So hot water is great. We're just going to let that sit for 15 minutes. So while I have my hot water, let's go ahead and try this. This is Hello Kitty chicken noodle soup. This was $3.25, and when I lived in Japan, you could find these at the 100 yen shop for 100 yen. So pretty inexpensive back then, and now it's $3.25. Granted, we're not in Japan, but this is Hello Kitty chicken noodle soup, and I want to know what makes this Hello Kitty. Oh my gosh, look! I wasn't expecting it to have the seasoning separate. Wow. So I was hoping there'd be little Hello Kitty shaped fish cakes or something inside, but so far we just have noodles. Maybe it's inside the seasoning packet. I really hope so. But this is surprising. A little bit of seasoned oil, and then we have little onions and carrots. So let's put everything in. We'll begin with the vegetables. Curious to see if this has any smell. Oh yeah, it smells like chicken. Whoa, that's the chicken flavor. Wow, it smells like chicken bouillon. Okay, lastly, the powdered seasoning. And I hope there's little Hello Kitty heads in here. Let's see. Oh, womp womp. Just powder. Man, ooh. Nope, no Hello Kitty. Oh man, that's really disappointing. Don't smell the seasoning, and don't buy it if you're expecting Hello Kitty. I'm glad I didn't give this to my niece. That would have been so disappointing. All right, there's a fill line there. We're gonna add our hot water before I continue to sneeze on the rest of this powder. Okay, hot water to the fill line. All right, now we're gonna cover that and let it sit for 3 minutes. The reason why I'm disappointed is because when I lived in Japan, I did have some cup noodles that had little heads of characters floating in it, and I thought that was delightful. And I was hoping that that would be the case, but it isn't. Anyway, let's move on. Next, let's make this. This is Japanese Nabe soup base by Daisho, which is the Daiso in-house brand for their foods. And Nabe, as you can see from this illustration photo here, is basically a stew. You can put chicken, you can put all kinds of different meats in here, and then you put vegetables and you cook it in this broth. You can make a homemade broth, but this is conveniently already made for you, seasoned broth that you just bring all your ingredients to a boil and you cook, and then you can have nabe. Very popular in the wintertime. It's often cooked in a big ceramic pot on the table and everyone shares from it. It's lovely. You can put all kinds of things in it and customize it, which is great. Today I'm going to be using the things that I found in my refrigerator to make this nabe. This is a soy sauce nabe, and it says just to shake well, pour the soup base, and then bring it to a boil and add the ingredients and simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. So very easy. So a little butane stove like this would be very typical to have on your dining room table to cook something like this, and you would eat it hot pot style, kind of a communal pot where everyone can take a big scoop and it's kept piping hot with the stove. It's really lovely. My gosh, what was in that Hello Kitty stuff? All right, so I gave it a good shake. It smells a little bit smoky. It smells like bonito dashi, which is made from smoked skipjack tuna. I think I'm just gonna put it all in. Okay, this is supposed to be enough for 3 servings. So bring that to a boil. And then I'm gonna add some ingredients. The first thing I'm going to add are some dried shiitake mushrooms. Typically my mom would rehydrate these and let them sit overnight in the refrigerator because they're quite hard when they're dry. But you can also drop them into the soup and hopefully they'll be tender by the time the nabe is cooked. So a couple mushrooms. I'm gonna add some meatballs that I had left over into the soup. Add some spinach. And I'm gonna add some cabbage. Cabbage is, I feel like, such an underrated vegetable. And then we'll add some carrots. Isn't that lovely? It's nice when you cut them into little flower shapes like that. And then I'll put some green onions. These are the green onion bottoms. and we'll just boil this till everything is cooked. There it is. Looks beautiful already, doesn't it? Now I'll just put the cover on this, reduce the flame, and we'll just let that cook for 10 minutes or so. So the cooking time will be based on what ingredients you add to this. If you added some potatoes or some chicken thighs, it would probably take more time. But since I just added vegetables, my meat is already cooked, it shouldn't take much time at all. Alrighty, in the meanwhile, while the nabe is cooking, let's go ahead and give our Hello Kitty instant noodles a taste. Let's see how these look. All right, these look done, and they don't look any different than regular instant noodles. Alrighty, let's give the Hello Kitty chicken noodle soup a taste. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Interesting. They're curried. It's curried chicken noodle soup. That was not what I was expecting. But it's chicken bouillon flavor with just a touch of curry powder. And when I say curry, I just mean the yellow, very kind of generic Madras curry powder. Just a little pinch of it. It tastes oniony and just slightly curried. The broth is thin. Surprisingly not too salty, just a little bit sweet. The noodles are fine. They're pretty typical of what you'd get from an instant cup noodle. Pretty soft. Not particularly bouncy or chewy, just like a typical kind of cup noodle. I wouldn't buy these again. I don't find these particularly tasty. And there are no floating Hello Kitty heads, and that was disappointing. So yeah, I'd give it maybe a 1.5 out of 5. Just, or 2, maybe 2. I bet my chickens will like it though. Yeah. Ah, womp womp. So the onigiri is ready. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. So indeed, I can feel the rice is plumped up. And because of the way this package is designed, it should already have a triangular shape. Isn't that amazing? So to open it, there are 2 arrows here that we rip across. And don't even need anything to open it. It's already got the score lines. Isn't that great? Now to get to the onigiri itself, we can rip here and we rip at an angle. I didn't know that last time that you could do that. Wow, that's so awesome. Right on the angle. Then we can peel this back to reveal the onigiri. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. That is so cool. Alrighty, let's give the instant onigiri that shaped itself into its triangular form all by itself. Let's give it a taste. Itadakimasu. Wow, the nori permeates all the grains of rice, so it tastes briny, kind of minerally, seaweedy, lovely. The rice sticks together, although the texture is a little bit different than the regular rice that you would use to make traditional onigiri. It's got kind of a bouncier texture. And the grains seem to be a little bit smaller. Having said that, it's pretty remarkable food engineering. The price point is a bit much though. This was $4.25. Granted, I did buy this stateside. In Japan, they might be cheaper, but pretty handy to have in the pantry, I would say. And it would be really something very simple for even kids to make. All right, let's check on the nabe. Ooh, it's cooking nicely. Meatballs, of course, already cooked. Smells great. It smells savory, soy saucy. It smells mostly dashi, which smells smoky, a little bit fishy. Meatballs are cooked Mushrooms are plumped. Alrighty, let's give our nabe a taste. Just take a ladle of this and put it right in my bowl. It's amazing how spinach shrinks. Like, it just shrinks to just a fraction of what it was. I'm gonna add a little bit of green onion right on top. Boom, that looks great. Alrighty, let's give our nabe that came from Daiso a taste. Let's taste the broth because that's essentially what we paid for. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Ooh, very salty. I would add some water to that, but it tastes briny of the ocean. It tastes a bit like kombu, which is seaweed. So it's got a seaweedy, briny flavor and some smoked bonito in there. I can definitely taste that. And a bit of soy sauce. Oh, with a green onion. It's really delicious. Alrighty, let's try a meatball. Soft and tender. It has absorbed the nabe broth. Oh, let's try some cabbage. That's my favorite part. I love cabbage. It's so underrated. It's inexpensive, it's sweet, it lasts forever in your fridge. You can cook so many things with it, but it's great in this. It's sturdy enough to hold up to all that boiling. It's inherently sweet, and it goes so nicely with that really salty soup. So good. So this cooked about 15 minutes, and really it took no time whatsoever. Let me show you the mushroom. Look how it plumped up. It's so fatty and cute. All right, lastly, let's taste our big fatty mushroom that plumped up in all that nabe broth. Dried shiitake mushrooms are a wonderful pantry staple, especially if you're a vegetarian. They add so much flavor to broths. They plump up so nicely in stews and soups, and add so much flavor as well. So final thoughts, although I found the nabe broth to be very salty, I would buy it again. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It would be great to have in the pantry for a dinner when you didn't want to cook anything and you just had scraps in your refrigerator and just dump everything in. Hot meal really fast. And just for that convenience alone, it would be worth purchasing. Although, again, quite salty. Alrighty, so for the last little bit, I'm going to show you some items that are not edible that I also picked up at Daiso. So, love perusing all their aisles of stuff, including this aisle. This is kind of the travel container aisle, and I found things that I'd never seen before, like this. Look at this. It's a refillable makeup dispenser, and then it has this sponge roller applicator. So it disperses the product underneath this, and then you can roll it with a sponge on your face or wherever. I think it would be great for sunscreen. Yes, sunscreen applicator. I knew I would find a use. And that was 200 yen, which works out to be about $3.25. Another thing that I bought was this. This was $1.75, but this is a foam pumper. So it creates foam when you pump it, and it is refillable. So you can have travel soap. I'm gonna add this to my camping tote. We have a tote for all our camping supplies, and I can put hand soap in there so we can have soap on the go. I also bought this little tiny custom refillable bottle, and this is cool because it has a roller ball applicator. So I'm not a huge fan of perfumes, can't stand them on myself or any other person. They're just too overwhelming for me. But I do love essential oils. So I plan to add some carrier oil to this, probably some almond oil, and then add some essential oils, maybe some patchouli or even grapefruit or something like that. I love those kinds of natural scents. And then you can just roll it on, you know? I would have preferred a glass version, but they didn't have one with a roller ball. But for $1.75, worth the investment of trying. Oh, I also bought some tape. It's a little bit different than US masking tape. It's thinner. It's a little bit more like washi tape. But what I like is that it comes off pretty easily. So I like to use this to label things in my pantry or in the refrigerator with a little Sharpie marker. Got a label, super cute, small. And for my final item, I got this. And this was 200 yen or $3.75. And this is a little veggie chopper. Look at this face. Come on. So it says mini handle vegetable cutter, but I think primarily based on what's demonstrated, it's for garlic. If you're into Daiso products and unboxings, you should definitely check out my previous Daiso unboxing episodes. Lots of very terrific items, things that you may have never seen before, including this garlic shaped chopper. Oh my goodness, look how cute you are. Hello, friend. So there's a sharp blade inside, and it has a little pull wand, so a pull string, so that when you pull it, you pull his eyes, it spins the blades. So it's a manual chopper, but mini. Let's get some garlic. Oh my gosh, look how cute. Head of garlic, garlic chopper. So cute. Alrighty, so we've filled the little hopper with our garlic. Now let's put the head back on our chopper. So now his eyes become a handle and we pull. Oh, okay. First pull had a lot of resistance, but now not so much. Can you see that action? It's working pretty well. Good workout, very easy to pull. Look at that, beautifully chopped. Wow, this did great. Totally worth the $3.75 for this little chopper. Would I use it much? I don't know that I would, but it would be very cute to have just sitting on your counter if you're into cute little anthropomorphized things. I think for the actual application of chopping garlic like this, I think if I were to make a bunch of garlic crisp, for example, if I was making a batch of chili crisp, I think this would be great. It'd be great for shallots. That's where I could see using something like this. But yeah, really saves the headache of stinking up everything in the sense of your fingers and your cutting board and stuff by mincing it or using a single garlic press. And very easy to use. But I think I'm just really enamored by how it looks. So stinking cute. All right, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching yet another Daiso haul, this time mostly food related. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Daiso item is, because I'm sure there's stuff that I don't know about and that I need to know about. All right, my lovelies, thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends, follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! It's great, it doesn't even smell. Hardly smelling garlic whatsoever. All right, it's time to go make some dinner. Guess I'm making something with garlic. A lot of garlic, good grief.